look, I think, we're seeing more people than ever pick up a mountain bike, but the scene when it comes to, I guess, downhill mountain biking and like the racing side of things in Australia it's been on a steady decline since I started racing when I was 17, to the point now it's like, to be frank, it's a bit of a joke. Like, we used to have, it used to be set, like in the summer, you're like, okay, boom, national series. There'll be like, 5-6 rounds, bang, bang, bang. You plan your summer out and you go do them and you work towards, getting your points if you want to go overseas or whatever. And you go from there. And we've just seen over the years, like, it's gotten more and more expensive. So it's unattainable for, like, people that don't have a whole lot of money. Like, it makes it pretty hard to go away and race a bike. Like, and that used to be the thing. Like, at least you got value for money. Like, you pay the amount and you get like 4 or 5 days of riding your bike, at least just runs. Like, it wasn't even so much about the race for a lot of people. It's just being around people and riding. And that's it. I remember each year, like, you get like less and less practice and it get more and more expensive. So that was like the first telltale signs of it. And then, and then it just started, like, because of that, just numbers started diminishing. Like, we didn't have that atmosphere anymore. Like, you used to have like people on the side of the track just yelling and like cheering you on, because we had like, Joe Blows doing the sport. Like, that did take it seriously.
Exactly.
It was about people of all levels, like even being at the national, being a national event. And that's the thing, like, they tried to make it more elitist for some reason. Like, mountain biking it's not elitist. Like,
no, not at all.
Everyone that does like mountain biking, even now, the top level is like a little bit rough and ready. Like, they still got a bit of mongrel in them. Like, they're not boring as batshit. So I think it was like, we saw this change of them trying to almost make it like more like road cycling, like make it a little more sterile, and which just didn't work. And so, the numbers started dropping. And then now we've got to the point that we have the National Cup. I mean, come on. And that's so, like, and I think that was MTBA was facing scrutiny like all the time, like, you run a shit event, blah, 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 because, they weren't running the greatest event. And I mean, I've been pretty vocal about it over the years, and anyone that's seen me at a race a couple of times blowing up about things at MTBA. But like, they so then, their answer to that was the National Cup. So they'll put it back on the clubs, So I'm not too familiar with it. I'd have to read up on it again, but like, I'm pretty sure you put in a bid or whatever, you pay X or Y to, or now, what's it called now? What did they change the name of it to now? It's not MTBA, it's bloody cycling.
Oh, cycling. Yeah.
Cycling, whatever. I don't know. They changed the name. It's meant to make it all better and grand. And, mountain biking is meant to be back up in lights or whatever. But now you have these qualifying events or whatever they are, like, tiered events. And they're just all over the place. So they're all... they're scattered throughout the year. They're all over the shop, and there's no consistency with it. So I think the downside to it is we see, like, we don't, like, it's half the time you don't even know when one's on. So
no, you don't, not until like a couple of weeks before.
Yeah, so everything's very last minute. And then for the most part, we're seeing them like in the middle of the year. So you have all the pro guys, they're away. So they're not going to come and do them, like, obviously. So then we don't see, like, you don't see them at the races. And those guys they're the guys that are going to inspire the next generation. You know, they're the guys that are, you know, that the young kids and the youth want to see, and that, you know, that, oh, you know, I want to be like Dean Lucas one day, or Connor Farron, or Troy, or whatever. And then when they don't get the opportunity to sit on a shuttle bus with them, to talk with them anymore, like, because they're just not around.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get to jump behind them on the track and try follow them down, like, and see how they do things. Like, so these opportunities and these experiences that we used to have, that would benefit like people up and coming, like being around these, you know, top tier guys, is we just don't have it anymore.